Good morning.
It is.
I heard you talk about, let me put a baseline first. My family has been labeled with what they call a so-called genetic disease, early onset Alzheimer's. And I heard one of the tapes a while back where you did talk a little bit about genetic diseases, as far as there's really no such thing as genetic diseases, but it's the fact that people are observing it in their family and people are talking about it.
This is the perfect conversation to have on the heels of conditional living.
Yeah.
Because as people focus upon a condition and practice the vibration of the condition, then it's logical that they would have a similar experience. And it really makes a strong case for being unconditional, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yeah, because I've seen it with family members, and I'm doing the best that I can too to keep myself without thinking about it, but we get bombarded.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Something that big and that frequent and that pressing and that important, if you haven't done the vibrational work first, focusing on that condition's going to get you. In other words, and you can feel it's getting you
Right.
by the discomfort you feel when you focus there.
Right.
So what's the discomfort? We just want to ask you, and this isn't going to be hard, and if you don't get it right away, we'll help you figure it out.
Okay.
Think about what the feeling of discomfort is really about. When someone says to you, it's heredity, or when someone says to you, it's in our genetics, or when you're focused upon someone who is having the experience of it, and you feel that discomfort, what does that discord mean? What is it telling you?
The source isn't agreeing with what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's take that sentence and let's make it really matter.
Great.
Family member, source. Family member, conditional. Source, unconditional. Obvious? Source is pretty unconditional.
Uh-huh.
Emotion, unconditional. Disease, conditional. So, not cleaning up your vibration, practicing a solid, unconditional foundation on things that don't challenge you is necessary first. Because if you start with things that are challenging you, you won't make it. Because the momentum is so strong, you got to become unconditional and know that you're unconditional in other things first. So pick something easier.
Okay, yeah, because I witnessed my mother going through it and all this, and my sister has it.
Witness is a really strong word, isn't it? Witness and condition are same words. Witness, looking right into what is, looking right at what is. And humans, you're used to doing it. And why not? There's so much to see. There's so much to behold. Some of it wanted and some of it not wanted.
Yeah.
But when you do the vibrational work first, now the impulse to see, and the ability to see. Have you ever had the experience? Esther has it a lot, especially when they were driving the bus cross country. So they were on the road all day, most days, of having some place that they knew they were going to stop and passing hundreds of billboards and signs and not noticing any of them until the one that told them about the exit to that RV park. And Esther would say, it's funny, that's the first sign I've seen all day, and it's the one that I really wanted to see. So what's happening? Broader perspective is helping her to focus. So when you practice the unconditioned, and we're going to get specific about how to do that. We know you're all wanting to know what that means because
Right.
So far it just sounds like words. When you practice the unconditioned, then that turning of the vibration to the thought, to the emotion, to the impulse, to the rendezvous, to the manifestation, actualization, reality of what you're wanting is just the natural progress. But you got to figure out how to do that first.
Right, because what's happened.
And you got to start with things that are easy. You got to find out that you're good at it before you have to do it on something that's so in your face and so important to you. If you don't get good at walking the beam that's only 6 inches off the floor, don't walk across the Niagara Falls.
Right.
Show yourself that you can do it. And once you've shown yourself that you can do it, you can walk anywhere without trepidation.
I guess I need some assistance with, I know I need to practice without seeing them. I've got a sister that's going through it, and can I?
We know.
wanna
But
just-
what you're doing right now is practicing the vibration that doesn't help.
Okay.
You're practicing focusing on the condition
Okay.
that won't let you harmonize with source.
Okay.
And we could stay here all day and speak only with you, and we wouldn't make very much headway on that topic because there's enough momentum about it. You're not in any danger. There's nothing happening to you. We don't mean that. We just mean you're in danger of more negative emotion. You're in danger of feeling fearful. You're in danger of feeling uneasy. You're in danger of perpetuating the potential of a vibration. You're in danger of holding yourself in a vibrational frequency that doesn't feel good when you don't need to.
Right.
So what you want to do is show yourself, pick topics where you can feel better just because you want to. That's really what focus wheels are about. That's the way that Esther has been using focus wheels. When something happens that doesn't feel good, she can usually, within a few minutes, focus wheel it into a place of feeling better. But she's been doing it for a while. So let's pick another subject that is less tense, but still a little troubling, and show you what we mean. Anything been bothering you that's not death-defying? Anything been bothering you that doesn't feel as big as that?
Maybe my business, just to build my business and how I build my business.
That's a good topic. Are you self-employed?
Yes.
And do you have employees?
One.
And how's that going?
Pretty good.
Anything ever bother you about that?
Yeah.
What? Now, you see how we chose a topic that's less?
Yeah.
So there's contrast in it.
So I absolutely adore what I do. I love it. I feel better than...
Yeah, but get to the dirt.
Get to the bad stuff, right? So basically I love what I do and I'm very good at it, but the finances are where I want to...
Well, we want to talk about the employee.
Okay.
Because that's lighter. Because on a scale of troubling and not so troubling, really troubling, the subject of Alzheimer's.
Right.
Not that troubling, but still troubling, the subject of finances. But way less troubling, getting along with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take that lighter, getting along with somebody subject, and let's practice the vibrational soothing that we're talking about. So
very impressive.
So is there anything about that causes you some consternation or discord?
Not really. I mean, we get along great and she does a good job. No, the only thing that bothered me a little bit is that she took a 3-week vacation. So I had to do her job, but that was really about it.
That was a little inconsiderate. It caused a little taxing on your part.
Right.
It could have been different, but you already did the soothing on that. So tell us how you soothed that and tell us why you soothed that. Because we had to poke you to get you to even call it a problem because you'd done such a good job of soothing it. So tell us how you soothed that. Tell us the day that you really wished that she had been there. What was going on that day?
Oh, I was overwhelmed.
All right, so you were overwhelmed. The tendency was to then focus on the condition that seemed to have caused or exacerbated the overwhelmment.
Right.
So you did that for a moment, but that didn't feel good because your overall intention is to appreciate this person, and you mostly do appreciate this person.
Yes.
And you know that this person deserves to have some time off, and you want this person to have a life of her own, and you want her to feel happy in her world, and you know that nothing really went terribly wrong, and there were things that you didn't have to do that she caught up with later, and some of what her work was, you left it for her to catch up later, and you only did the things that really mattered, and you were able to do it, and it gave you better insight into what she was actually doing. In other words, you feel how that's soothing that, and we're not saying any of this outside of what you already figured out.
Right.
That's how you soothed yourself.
Right.
Well, it's exactly the same thing that you want to do with these other issues. It was just easier to do it with this issue because this person could be replaced with another person. The stakes don't feel high in that case. So it's easy for you to soothe that. But the finances, the stakes feel higher. And the physical life experience, the stakes feel higher. But they're not. It's all exactly the same thing. It doesn't matter whether you're soothing yourself over light and easy things, or whether you're soothing yourself over things that feel more like a struggle, or whether you're soothing over things that just sort of take your breath away when you think about them. Learning to soothe will serve you no matter what. So we would consciously soothe. So anything else ever come up? Does that bother you?
No, not really.
The only thing that bothers you is finances and Alzheimer's?
Pretty much. Those are the big things.
Well, then you are already a self-soother. You're already a self-soother. You know what to do. So let's take the finance thing.
Okay.
So poke at it where it's uncomfortable for a moment.
Summertime especially, because my business drops a lot. And the way my business is, I pretty much am the one that does all the work. I train dogs. And so it's my physical time where I make my money. And so, but I only have so much time in the day. So if I want to increase my income, I have to find other ways of doing.
Or teach other people to do the same thing that you're doing.
Right. I've done that before too.
So,
well, what I did was I didn't keep them with me. I train trainers and I send them on their way, and they pay me for that.
So make some statements that sort of poke at the discord that you're feeling about business. Summertime business drops off.
Summertime business drops off.
What's a self-soothing statement that you can make?
That
Summer doesn't last.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Summer doesn't last.
Okay.
Business picks up. There are other things that I can do. I can figure some things out. I always have. How long have you been doing this?
16 years.
So I have a steady pattern. I now know things that I haven't known before. I'm doing better vibrational work. The dogs who I'm training have taught me that.
Yeah.
I've learned through experience how to communicate with them better. They have taught me the very thing that I'm asking about here.
Yeah.
They've taught me about alignment coming first. I've shown myself that in interacting with them, I have to deal with the vibration first and then. And when I do that, I have success, and when I don't, I don't. And so the very nature of my work is giving me the practiced basis that I'm reaching for here. I think it's why I've enjoyed that so much. Dealing with animals is much more pleasurable than dealing with humans.
Most of the time.
Because they are more consistent in these laws of the universe. The majority of the trouble that I've had in my business has not been with the animals, it's been with their owners. And much of the training that I'm doing is not just with the animal, it's suggestions to the owner. I'm actually teaching them how to be steadier in their vibration before they move forward. And so everything that I need to know about this ease relative to finances or Alzheimer's, I already know and am practicing on a daily basis. So I just need to take the same patterns that I already know and apply it to that.
Okay.
So what's the difference? This is the thing that we really want to have this conversation with you. It will benefit everyone. What's the difference between your expectation of results in the training of the dog and your expectation of the results relative to your relationship with Alzheimer's? What's the difference?
There's fear over here.
But why? Because fear is the difference of opinion.
Right.
But why? What is it that you're focused upon?
The observation of it.
With the dogs, where's your expectation?
I mean, I can communicate completely clearly with them.
But do you communicate with them not expecting it to work?
No, I always expect it to work.
And so you expect them to be cooperative components.
Yes.
So you trust the process of focus, and you know that when you get aligned and project that focus, that it is going to affect the outcome. But you don't believe that relative to the other, because the people in your family are not cooperative like these dogs are.
That's, I guess, where it comes down to it.
So what would you do? So what's the difference? The dog, you expect to be able to impose your opinion. Your family, you don't, do you? In other words, they've all got minds of their own. So do you think that the dog has less of a mind of its own? Is the dog's mind more moldable than the relatives' minds? Or is your expectation of their alignment greater?
Definitely.
Well, that's worth thinking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so that's why you have to be willing to be unconditional. Have you ever had an untrainable dog?
No.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? And yet there are untrainable humans all around you.
That's acceptable. Yeah, no, they all think the same way. And so, yeah.
So what might you do in order to hold your vibration where it is with your dogs? It's a trick question, so be careful. Focus on the dogs. Because when you focus over there, you lose your connection. Don't focus on there, focus over here. When you focus over there, you lose your connection, focus over here. When you focus over there, you lose your connection, so don't focus over there, focus over here. Until you remember that, your power of influence. Now, we're not talking so much about your power of influence with others. We're talking about your power of influence with your own self. We want you to discover for yourself the confidence of alignment that you have when you're training these beasts when you are focused upon something that feels out of your control. That's what unconditional alignment is. You take the condition out of it and gain the control. Take the condition out of it and gain the control. Take the condition out of it and gain the control. And soon you have such expectation that then you can look anywhere.